What is up, you guys? The Dark Knight here, back in with another action figure review, and today we're finally taking a look at the DC Multiverse Collect and Connect Killer Croc. So because Killer Croc is a collect and connect figure, meaning that you need to collect a whole bunch of figures in order to build a Killer Croc, he does not come with any packaging, although what I have over here for you guys is an example of the packaging of the figures that you need to collect and connect to build the figure. You have Collect Connect Killer Croc at the top of there. Batman 80 years, if you don't know, this year is the 80th anniversary of Batman, so that's pretty cool. You have the character's name over there, DC logo, along with a picture of the character down there, DC Multiverse along with the window box, and the side over here you got the DC logo once again, character picture, and then DC Multiverse. And the back over here you have all the other figures you need to collect this wave in order to build the Killer Croc. I've already done videos on all these guys over here, so be sure to go and check them out after you watch this video. And you also do get the character picture once again over there, and then a bit of a bio for them, and then warnings at the bottom over there. And finally, at the very bottom, you get all the copyright info along with the UPC code. So, if you guys haven't watched my quick review part 2 of the Killer Croc Collect Connect wave, because I did do a bit of a review on this guy, just a really quick one, as the video does say. But anyways, I did mention in there that originally I saw this figure at Comic-Con, and I was a little bit unimpressed with it. I didn't really want to pick it up, so at first, I collected most of the figures that I wanted to get, and then I decided to bite the bullet and then just get the rest of the wave and build the Killer Croc. And as you heard me said in that video, I completely regret it. This Collect and Connect Killer Croc figure over here probably has to be one of the best Croc figures I've seen, at least in my time. A really good comic adaptation of the Croc figure. If you guys don't know who Killer Croc is, he's basically just another Batman villain. His name was Waylon Jones, and then he got, through a mutation, I think it was, through crocodiles, he became a human crocodile, and thus he became Killer Croc. But yeah, it's kind of a simple story. He's just been known as a Batman villain, but he's also shown up in a couple of different adaptations, such as being in the Suicide Squad. Me personally, my favorite adaptation of this character was from the Batman Arkham Asylum video game. And I mean, that was the first time I was ever introduced into the Killer Croc character, and I absolutely adored him after that. So leave in the comments down below, what is your favorite adaptation of the Killer Croc? Here's taking a look at the head sculpt over here, and I mean, this thing has turned out really great, I gotta say. I mean, the paint detailing in there is just absolutely fantastic. And if you don't know, this jaw over here can open and close, and it's made of a soft rubber material, so it allows for extra movement. As you can see, they even painted a ton in there. The teeth were painted really nice. I mean, it's sculpted really nice too, with all the scales going along. His eyes too use like kind of like a shiny kind of paint, so it looks realistic in a way. And then his ears over here too, they even sculpted in the ears, and you could see like kind of like a darker paint going along. I mean, overall, a very, very, very nice head sculpt over here. I really do like this thing. One of the main pluses on this figure, I gotta say though, is the fact that they use so much dry brushing. What they originally did, I don't know if it really shows up on camera all that well, but what they originally did was they had like a plain just green plastic, and then they would like give a bit of yellow dry brush, and I mean, it turned out very nice. I really do like it. All the sculpting detail throughout it looks very awesome, especially the back over here with all the scales going along. Very, very, very cool. And even the claws over here too, once again with all the sculpted scales going along, looks very nice. And then take a look at the other hand over here. It's once again just very nice. And look at all the wrinkles inside his hand over there. It has some very nice sculpting going throughout. Even the pants over here looking pretty good overall. They didn't just use like a flat kind of like belt going along over there. It's all sculpted in there, all the weathering and all kind of stuff, and looks really good. Then along with all the pant wrinkles over here, they even dry brushed the pants too. Not sure if it's really showing up all that well, but what they did was they had a bit of a darker kind of blue, and then they did a bit of a dry brushing on top with a lighter blue, and turned out very nice, like in person, but on camera I bet you can't really see it all that well. But overall, very, 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 very well painted. I really do like this thing. And then also the legs over here too, you get all the scales in there as well too. And take a look at the feet over here, you got all the nails, scales once again, all painted with a lighter green. And check this out, they even did the bottom of the feet over here, a thing that you won't even see from the figure, and they still did it. That is absolutely fantastic if you ask me. Articulation on this guy is pretty decent, to say the least. His head can move up without that much, it can move down, it can move side to side. There's a bit of pivot in there. You got the jaw movement over here where he can have the face, or the face. He also does have the arm articulation over here where it can move up that much. It can move all the way 360, and he also does have the bicep swivel over here, single jointed elbow, which moves about that far. He also has has the wrist articulation, which is swivel and up and down. He has the ab crunch that can move in about that far, which is pretty good, and it can move that far back. He has the waist swivel over here. His leg can kick forward, it can kick back. He can do the splits as well too with the DCUC gaping crotch pits. And while we're at it, I do want to warn you guys to be careful when you're kicking it up and down, because as I was kicking this after the video that I did with the quick review, unfortunately the actual joint in here did pop. I don't know if you can really see it, but right over there, yeah, you can see it's a little bit off, and that's because that piece broke off. So be very careful when you're hinging it up and down. Anyways, putting that back on over there. He also does have a thigh swivel over here, which is pretty good. Single knee joint moves in about that far. Then he also has the ankle articulation over here, which is up, down, and a bit of pivot in there. Here he is compared to the only other Killer Croc figure that I do own. This is the Batman Arkham Asylum DC Collectibles Killer Croc, and I mean the two of them over here are looking pretty similar in size. And if you were curious as to how tall he does stand, as you can see over here, he does stand at approximately 9.5 inches tall. So final thoughts on this Killer Croc figure over here before I do a ranking of all of the wave over here. I gotta say, it's a good figure overall. The two main strong points with this figure, or I should probably say three, is one, the head sculpt is absolutely amazing. Two, the sculpting is absolutely fantastic. And three, the paint is spot on. My only real gripe with the figure is the fact that it doesn't really have all that great of articulation. Mainly more in like the joints, in the arms, like the shoulder kind of joints, and more like inside of the legs, and like, I mean, I don't know, I just feel like I can't really mangle around with it as I can with like all these other figures over here. It feels a little bit contained, if that makes any sense. But other than that, absolutely fantastic Killer Croc action figure, and if I had to give him a rating, it would probably be an 8 out of 10. But with that being said, what would I give as a rating for this entire wave, and what would I give as a ranking? Well, I've given it long and hard thought, and this is my ranking. In 7th place, I'm going to have to give it to Katana over here. As you've already heard inside my review, I wasn't too impressed with the figure. I felt it was too plain, didn't have enough paint, didn't have enough sculpting detail, and it just looked pretty bland overall. So that's really the main reason why she did get 7th place. If she had a bit more paint and a bit more sculpting, she would have been a little bit higher on the list. But overall, not that bad of an action figure. Still a really cool Katana comic figure for any of you guys out there who are huge fans of Katana, so I suggest you go ahead and pick that up if you like. But anyway, at the number 6 spot is probably going to be going to the Dick Grayson Batman over here. Once again, it's a great character that they chose, but I don't think it really showed up well in figure form. The paint turned out pretty crisp and clean on the figure, sculpting seemed pretty good, but once again, I wasn't really that big of a fan of the unmasked head sculpt that I did come with. And also, I wasn't really a big fan of some of the choices that they decided to go with. One was the cape, and the other was that, yeah. So that's why it gets 6th place over here. I mean, if they were to change the cape and those undies, it would have been a lot higher on the list, but for now, that's where I'm going to be putting him. Number 5 was a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with the Red Hood over here. I mean, it's a really cool character choice, and I think that it turned out pretty okay in figure form. However, I do think that there were a lot of problems with the figure, which is why it ended up so low on the list. And one of those main problems were those guns. So that's why it does get 5th place over here. If they were to make the guns removable, it would have been a lot higher on the list, I gotta say. Number 4 over here is going to have to go to the KG Beast. Overall, I think this is an absolutely fantastic figure. It turned out absolutely fantastic in figure form. Nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. The only reason why he does really get 4th place is because, you know, he's not that popular of a character, so I don't think many people will be searching for him all that much. But overall, really awesome figure altogether. That's why he gets 4th place. And then number 3, we'll have to go to the Killer Croc Build-A-Figure over here. Once again, not a bad figure by any means. I actually really do like how this figure turned out. Really great sculpting, really great paint detailing, but articulation I felt like could have been a little bit better, but that's just my personal opinion. Really high on the list still, so still really awesome figure. And then the number 2 spot, I will have to give it to the Red Robin over here. Still awesome Robin figure, guys. Amazing Robin figure. And if it weren't for this great Alfred figure over here, he would have been number 2 on the list. But overall, I mean, the sculpting detail on this guy, the paint detailing, the articulation, the accessories, everything about this figure is absolutely amazing. And this is the Robin figure to get. So in terms of number 1 place over here, I'm going to have to give it to the Alfred figure over here. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic figure. It has absolute great articulation, has great paint detailing, and I mean, if it weren't for the 4 heads, the 4 extra heads and all the accessories it would have come with, he probably would have been a lot lower in the list. But the fact that we came with the Michael Goff head, the Alan Napier head, the Outsider head, and the comic looking head, I mean, that's amazing. And even he even got the server plate that he's most well known for, a Batman mask, and a cup. I mean, the cup, I gotta say, it has to do it for me. Just overall, an amazing figure altogether. Well, with that being said, you guys, that is my ranking on this wave. If I were to give a rating out of this wave, I mean, it's been the last Mattel multiverse wave that they're going to be coming out with, because they have lost the license and they're going to be giving it to McFarlane. So I'm really excited to see what McFarlane offers. But for now, what do I give this wave as a rating? I gotta say, it does have some pretty good character selection over here. I really do like the fact they put in Red Hood, like the fact they gave us a Red Robin. Absolutely love the fact that they gave us an Alfred. I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the Katana and KJBs. They're probably going to give us some other figures, but overall, it's all good. And I do feel like, too, that they could have given us a Bruce Wayne Batman instead of a Dick Grayson Batman, because the last normal looking Batman, comic Batman that we've gotten was the Rebirth Batman that came out a while ago, and that one wasn't too good. I mean, for Mattel's last year, you might want to give us a bit of a better Batman figure, man. Other than that, great wave, absolutely amazing, and if I were to give it a rating, probably give it an 8 out of 10. And if you find this out in the wild, it might be worth picking up. Well, with that being said, you guys, that's just my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion on this wave over here, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. Tell me what your ranking would be of these figures, because I'd love to hear it. And while you're at it, please leave a like or a dislike down below, as it does help with the quality of my videos, kind of telling me where I should be going and where I should be staying away from. And while you're at it, I would appreciate if you were to, subscribe. And I look forward to doing some more DC Multiverse figures over here. Next, I do plan on doing these two guys over here, so make sure you stay tuned for those. I do have to say, though, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey to completing this wave. It's been absolutely outstanding, all the support I've been getting with this wave over here. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.
Back to me.